Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Anecdote Podcast. Today's episode 6. My name is Justin Victorio, your usual host. To my left, we got
Anthony.
Alex's brother. Shout out Alex.
Come on, yo.
But yeah, man, the usual content, we're here with another special guest. Known him personally since high school. My guy, introduce yourself.
I'm Marley Delarosa, Marley D. First and last. Yeah, that's what I call myself.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. You were like, because you just want a son.
Yeah, just a
right?
son. I mean, no, just a daughter. No son.
I fucked up. I got it fucked up. Yeah. So, like I said, we talked about this already through text, through conversation prior to this recording and everything.
Yeah.
The podcast is about you. So I kind of want to know, like, who is Marley D? What made him Marley D currently? And, like, all the points and experiences and trials and tribulations, successes, failures that got you to your point today.
Word. All right. To be honest, when I think of it to myself, like, who is Marley D? Whatever, Marley Delarosa, I think, like, it's a combination of, like, all the good stuff that's happened in my life, all the bad stuff that's happened, the great stuff, the highs and lows. And I'm gonna say that, like, it consisted of me now, who I am standing, like, as I speak into this mic type.
Yeah.
It's like a person that has gone through, like, the greatest days of his life and, like, the worst days. We're talking, like, glass shattering horrible to, like, three rainbows back to back, seeing them in the sky type of great type of day. Yeah. So I'm just like, and everything that comes in between, the hurricanes, the storms, the sunny days, like all that. Things I couldn't predict, just mad experiences, things that people have said to me that have stuck with me. And, I've took what they said and applied it to my personality and to my being every single day to day. Like, I try to, be a better you today than you were yesterday. And I feel like I've met a lot of people that have said great things that helped me, build myself up, versus I met way too many people that have said, like, the craziest stuff that just tears you down. And you're like, okay, well, you choose what you want to work with.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I guess for me, failure and I guess your downfalls really help shape and mold who you are.
Yes, sir.
Just because it's just like, for me, I don't judge people by their successes. I judge them not their failures, but how they react to failure, how they react to, I guess, the disadvantages that life gives them. Just because, like, everybody's going through some shit that happens behind closed doors.
Yeah.
There's some shit that he goes on and I live with him. Maybe I don't even know, and vice versa. Like, it's just absolutely insane. Can you attribute, like, I guess, any of your, like, shortcomings or, like, downfalls?
Yeah.
Like, what impacted you the most?
Bro, I'm gonna give y'all, like, inside scoop. This is the crazy. There's, like, a story I barely share with. Only my friends know this story because it's just so weird.
You're 100% positive because this could be a public video.
Nah, you're good, bro. I'm not gonna say the name of the place, but it's a specific place.
You don't got a name drop, bro.
So it's like, I worked at a restaurant, and there's 2 floors to the restaurant, and the top floor is, like, where I was allowed to work. I heard I wasn't allowed to work on the bottom because they thought I was, like, black.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, for real. So then when the kitchen guys, they're all Mexican. So when I went downstairs, when they'd ask for something, because the guests upstairs wanted another plate of something specific, I was like, yo, I started talking Spanish to them. And then one of the coworkers heard me and they were like, yo, run that back. You talk Spanish? And I'm like, yeah. And then from there, like, they told the manager and the manager told the boss, and the boss was like, yo, we need you downstairs. Because, like, because downstairs was just white people straight.
Yeah. How long did you work there, like, until you found this out?
Maybe like 3 months.
3 months? That's crazy.
Yeah, it really is.
What the hell?
Yeah.
And it's crazy because, like, how far recent was this?
This was 2015. Like, right when I graduated high school.
Yeah, that's still reasonably recent. And, like, I just feel like this year is the year we've been, I guess, taking a step toward the right direction. At least addressing shit.
Yeah.
Not taking things, like, lightheartedly.
Yeah.
And shit like that. But, like,
I feel like 2020 is gonna be, that's a generation that has all the people that might end all this nonsense. Like the previous nonsense, like racism or police brutality and all that stuff.
But we were talking about this. Do you think it'll ever be limited to, like, 0? Because I personally don't think so. I definitely can be lowered, the amount of police brutality and, like, racism.
Yeah.
But I just feel like there's always going to be people out there that are just, like, either ignorant or just I guess
because it's like
just ignorant. Just pretty
For
much,
sure.
just pretty much ignorant, and it's sad. It's very sad, but it's just like so many people like from the Spanish community, from the Black community, from the Asian community, like even the white community and everything. Like they contribute like a lot.
yeah,
You get me? To
Yeah.
like different things, and like it has to be acknowledged. It's just not like I feel like everything's like a competition, and especially in America, it's a lot of we were talking about this yesterday. A lot of nationalism
Oh,
mixed
yeah.
with individualism.
Mm.
So a lot of people take pride that they're from America, aka the free world, or the country that
they'll rep that.
yeah, every country looks at to go and like immigrate
The
to.
land of opportunity.
Yeah, the land of opportunity. But at the same time, it's just like, okay, just an example. In American education, okay, we're given like Spanish and Italian, like
Yeah. Or
generally,
French
or
sometimes,
French,
yeah.
generally like when we're growing up. But like, how much of that shit sticks with you?
2%,
Not that much.
barely.
Yeah, exactly, not that much because it's taken as an elective.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily necessary.
Mm.
But in countries like in countries in Africa, countries in Europe, countries in Asia, these motherfuckers speak multiple languages,
And it's
Like
like
nothing.
so common.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
nothing.
and so it's just like I said earlier when we were recording, it's this. I feel like it's subconscious amongst if you take it to a scale like an individual aspect. When we grow up, I didn't really think about much about like learning a different language. I mean,
Right.
I grew up learning Filipino and everything, but it's just like
You can speak it fluently.
so like it's very slow, but I understand it completely. But
yeah.
I personally believe I'd be able to survive in the Philippines. They definitely know I was like American,
Mhm.
just because like I'm taller than everybody else over there.
Yeah.
Just in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no gas. But I think I'd be able to like I wouldn't be like
Handle yourself. Yeah.
hustled and shit like that because they hustle Americans.
They do.
Yeah, like they charge you more and everything.
You know what? Yeah, that sounds very familiar to like
Yeah, but
DR
you-
type.
Yeah. I mean, Philippines is a third world country, and so they're just everybody's a salesman type shit. But yeah, as I was saying, yeah, different countries they know multiple languages, but in comparison to here, I just feel like it's overlooked and it's not acknowledged. So the sense of nationalism that English is quote unquote superior, American is quote unquote superior, even though English is not the national language of the United States of America.
Mm.
And then in comparison to Europe, Asia, Africa, where it's just like we acknowledge different cultures, we acknowledge that other people speak different tongues,
Yeah.
and it's just like we go out of our way to, I guess, immerse ourselves in their language, which is probably one of the most prominent things to, I guess, participate in a cultural aspect. Like if you came to me speaking Tagalog, like for Filipino, I'd be like, yo, like I fuck with you heavy, like straight
Yeah.
off the top.
Yo, that's funny.
Or if I came to you speaking Spanish, it's like,
Yeah.
oh fuck,
Yeah,
you
I'd
didn't
be like,
expect
oh
that.
shit,
Yeah,
groundbreaking.
Yeah, exactly.
Groundbreaking.
And that's a lot more common, like over there, like in I guess the eastern side of the world. And it's crazy. It's just really crazy.
Yeah, I mean, even people from like not from the US, like they'll come and I'll meet them in the most random way. Like I don't know, I'll be at Wendy's and like they'll drop something. I'll say like, yo, you dropped something. And
Yeah.
they'll be like, oh, thank you. And I'm like, all right, cool. And they'll, I don't know, they'll start a convo and they're like, oh, you're from here? And I'm like, you're not? Like
Yeah.
what? And they're like, nah, I'm from like France. And I'm like, you're talking perfect English
English.
right now, dude.
Yeah,
What's
that's
up?
crazy.
Yeah. Or
And then-
even if it's not perfect, even if it's not
There's
perfect,
still
the
like-
fact that
It's
they're
still
just,
a good amount.
Yeah,
there's
enough,
comprehension
yeah.
and grammar and all that shit. It's just like, yo, it exceeds every standard that we have here in America.
Yeah.
But I want to get back to I guess your racism experience like
Right.
at that workplace.
Uh,
Do you still face it to this day? Like, is
Nah,
it still a
most
problem?
definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
And like, I mean, it fucking sucks. It definitely fucking sucks because
Yeah.
like you're in a balance of like trying to smack this person up for being
Yeah.
ignorant, but at the same
Yeah.
time, like,
when I-
maybe they're uneducated or ignorant, and I have to
Yeah.
like
I had
provide
to
a
like,
lesson. Yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, like let's say I walk into a room where there's old school parents in there,
Yeah.
or like parents that feel, they just have some racism to them. Like if I was just walk in the room and they see me, I say no words, they'll like treat me a certain way. And then
Yeah.
once I don't know, once I start talking, because like when I talk to an adult, I have manners because you're an adult, so I'm gonna just speak a specific way.
Yeah.
They'll hear it and they ask me like, "Yo, where are your parents from?" And I'll be like, "Oh, I'm Dominican." And from there, they're just like, "Oh, okay." And from that moment forward, bro, I get treated so differently.
It's kind of irrelevant though. It's
so irrelevant.
Like,
Yeah.
The dumb-
what's
it's
that have to do with my dinner?
nothing. Yeah.
It's like identifying yourself.
What
Yeah,
the hell?
before
Yeah, why do I
for,
have to
like,
identify?
permission.
Exactly. Why do I have to identify myself to like someone I don't even know?
Yeah.
This is my job. Let me do my
Legit.
job.
Yeah, or even just
Legit.
legitimately
In general,
like,
yeah.
like conversation. Like, I mean, it's interesting to know where someone's
Yeah.
background
If you're
is.
genuinely
But
interested,
like, if you're gonna like approach it as a question, like,
How should I treat you?
yeah,
Are you
how should
exactly.
are you
exactly,
Spanish or
how
are you,
should I treat? Yeah, it blows my mind. Like, it's really insane or it's really ignorant.
I feel like what you said earlier though, it's never gonna end because there's the parents that, let's say Ohio, right? You got some racists in Ohio because it's
Yeah.
like the middle of this, I guess. Like they have kids that they install all that, and it's deeply rooted into the kids.
Yeah,
And now the kids kind of grow up with that same mentality. So
Yeah.
now us that are kind of trying to end the racism, people in like Ohio, for example, are
Yeah.
just like on a different type of time. So now when we finally meet them, we're thinking like, yo, we're part of the generation that ended racism, right? And they're
and
just
it's
like, yo, you're a hard R. Like they just drop it on
Hard
me.
R.
I'm just like, oh, okay.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, until people like of color branch out to those like, I guess, Mideast states,
Yeah.
and because it's still not, it's really still
Yeah.
not. I've read threads and articles that like places in Alabama and like I guess Kentucky, there's parts where like if you're of a darker complexion, there's articles they recommend you do not drive through these cities because they
That's
have like
crazy.
like on the town I guess the town name sign or whatever.
Yeah.
They have like Blue Lives Matter type shit or like KKK oriented shit like on the sign,
it's like
and
the
it's just
deep
like
south is.
I mean in like the deep south, and it's just like
Yo.
they're literally like we're lucky to live like near a major city, New York City,
Hell
and
yeah.
like New Jersey.
Diversity, yeah.
Yeah, New Jersey's one of the most diverse and I guess largely populated demographic wise areas in the country. But like I just feel like in the Midwest or whatever, Mideast, whatever, they're just like I want to say like 20 years behind us. You're
I'll
just
give them
like-
30.
Yeah, and like the exposure too, because I feel like I guess pop culture influences so many like millennials and Gen Z kids, like people on the East and West Coast living in like these largely populated areas.
Yeah.
Pop culture is huge. It influences how you act, how you speak, what you do, what you're interested, the events you attend, the food you eat, and
Yeah.
like
That's a fact.
yeah, it's crazy, but like that probably doesn't reach those people
Yeah,
over
it
there.
doesn't.
Yeah, it's crazy because like I mean, my first encounter with racism. I said this on the first podcast, but we scratched it because I think we was recorded weird or whatever. But like one time I was walking home from school like by myself. I would walk home from school like pretty much every day, starting from like 3rd grade to like 6th grade
Word.
on Linden.
Damn, your parents trusted you.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, on Linden or whatever. And like I was just walking. Your boy's mad shy, minding his own business. I don't really know who I was.
What
that type
grade?
Shit. I'm gonna say this was like 4th grade.
My man's like 8 years old.
You're not supposed to know who you are. 8.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I'm just
So-
a boy.
Yeah, exactly. I was like 8, maybe 9, whatever. I was walking home, and then like I see these 2 kids like down the block. One was on a bike, and one's like standing there. And I'm like, okay, 2 kids, whatever. They're like bigger than me. They're not like in high schoolers or whatever, but they're probably like 13, 14.
Okay.
And like I'm walking by and shit, just mad quiet, head down. I was like, yo, I gotta get home.
I do my homework.
I gotta do homework type shit. And then because my parents were the same as yours, like, yo,
Get home.
yeah, do your thing. And then I walk by and it was just unfortunately it was 2 people of color, it was 2 Spanish people. And the kid on the bike just started saying like ching chong, ching chong, ching chong. And I was like, I really didn't know what it meant. I really didn't know it because I didn't say anything. I didn't make a face. I didn't know they were addressing me or whatever. And they were like laughing and snickering and shit. And I walk home normally, but then I look it up and shit like that. And that's how I found out what I guess racism
Yeah.
is.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's how
That's
I found
a
out
very
what-
interesting like first way to figure that out.
Yeah, exactly. And this happened at like I said, like 9 years old. But like from there, it's just like I just feel like we were talking about subconscious earlier. I feel like especially how I mentioned pop culture is intertwined with comedy. And a lot of comedy influences our senses of humor, especially as
Hell
kids
yeah.
when we watch Comedy Central growing up or shit like that. I feel like a lot of skits back then, maybe like what's that Dick show on MTV, Madness TV or something?
Oh, man, TV.
Mad TV. Like the jokes back then would not fly today.
Oh, my
Definitely
goodness.
not.
Yeah,
no.
some of the shit that I see back then are just like, hey, yo, like
Y'all will
that's-
get called out
Yeah,
for that.
Bugging. Yeah,
yeah,
like, some
like-
of them were bugging.
Yeah, that should be like out of line. But
Yeah.
like a lot of that is what we grew up with.
Yeah.
You get me? And like we became, I guess, unfortunately, quote unquote, numb
Mhm.
to that. So numb eventually transcribed or it was interpreted as accepted. And like it was never that. Like literally nobody ever addressed that. Like, okay, this is accepted now. These jokes are accepted now.
Yeah.
No, it was just like numb to it. It's just like, okay, it doesn't bother me. But nowadays, like 2020, I just feel like it's so progressive, so like influential, so impactful. It's just like taking a 180.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going back to the roots of the problem and shit like that, where like racism's ingrained and taught, and it's not something you're born with. It's something
Yeah.
you're taught in society. Just like we're going 180, going back to the root of the problem. Is just like, yo, it starts at home.
Mhm.
It starts from when you're a child, when your parents are racist and they teach the
Yeah.
child like,
Yeah.
don't hang out with those kids because of blah blah blah, or don't hang out with these kids or blah blah blah, or
Yeah.
these people are like this, or these people like that.
Or they'll do it in like other subtle ways where it's like, yo, it's 9 p.m. and you walked by this neighborhood. Well, you know who lives in that neighborhood.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly. And it's just like that's a subtlety.
mhm.
Like their intentions are like, oh, I want to keep my kids safe. You know,
Yeah.
they're not
But it's like
thinking like,
ingrained, yeah.
yeah, they're not thinking
Deeply
like,
woven.
damn, I'm not offending like a whole group of fucking people.
Yeah.
You know, but again, they're numb to it, so it's accepted. And it's just like, yo, like I don't even know how to approach that, because like literally that's the way you operate. That's the way these people think. How
Yeah.
do you reverse psychology that? You know?
Yeah. How do you like unteach that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think that's pretty interesting because like I feel like us, like our generation and maybe even like the generation before us, like the millennials, I feel like just based on like what poverty is compared to like what it was back then, like people generally have more money now and like they can generally do more things. They generally have more time on their hands because
Yeah.
they don't have to generally work as much. So I feel like us as a generation have like more time to think about how like that shit is wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like we have time to think about that. We have like, I guess, the privilege of having enough time to like think on those things.
Word, because back then they probably had to think like, yo, how do I get to
Like
from
how the fuck
point
do I
A?
get my food? How the fuck do I put a roof over our
Yeah.
head type shit? And like
Yeah.
they're already older now. So like that shit's just, it's too ingrained. And even if they did have like time to think about it, it just like, I feel like,
It's like small.
It's-
It's like it's not as a big of an issue for them.
yeah, it just wouldn't be as a big
Because
of
just
an
like,
issue.
yo, like back then I was like walking 10 miles to school type shit.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
yo, oh
you get
my
me?
Dumb
god.
shit. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
dad.
All right,
Yeah.
pal. Like,
Yeah, my parents always tell me like, yo,
Then
when
don't
I was
give me a
23, yo, fat. All right,
but
I'll
they'll be
walk.
like, you want to ride? I'm like, yo, come on.
You
like,
just,
you're already
like,
talking
threw
all
it
this
in my
shit,
face.
like, but you do want to give me a ride though.
You do,
I
like,
mean,
right?
yeah, each generation has its different sets of problems. But I think that our generation is attacking the mental.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You get me?
Yeah.
Like generation back then was attacking the physical. Like they had like they lived through like Y2K, you know, like the whole
Yeah.
like invention area, like TVs, cell phones and all that.
A car.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
a
cars
car.
are evolving at least.
Yeah, exactly. Generations before that went through that shit, and it's just like those are the things that they had to worry about.
Yeah.
But we have to worry about, because we've reached to a point where it's just like everything was exponentially growing, technology and shit like that. But eventually, it's like flatlining. You know, like it will naturally progress, but there's other things to address. We gotta like work on what's on here. You know,
Yeah.
like work smarter, not harder.
That's a
type
good one. Yeah,
shit.
you worded that.
Yeah.
I think like I heard that quote before, but you
Yeah,
worded
no,
it
no, I-
perfectly fine.
That
was
wasn't
fire.
original, bro. That was not original.
Alright. But still, I heard, I was like, yeah, that's it right there. Yeah. Now, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie though. I got like, I know we were talking about humor earlier. I just want to say I got my like I have a very, very, very twisted sense of humor. And I think it's a Family Guy. Like I remember when I was,
Family
It's a
Guy.
sick
yeah,
show,
for
yeah.
sure. Like
it's
I,
not
when I
that
was,
I can't believe they get away with some of that shit.
Yeah.
But
Yo.
I think like that shit, like they work it in so well because it's like a lot of that shit's like very over the top.
very over the
And like
top.
it'll go over a lot of people's heads. Like I'll watch it with my dad sometimes, and like he won't get like half the jokes because they're just like so like, oh, they're like just mad
It's
subtle. Like the way they
strategically
work it
put
in,
in
yeah, it's
there.
like
It's
perfect.
like satire type shit.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's like mixed with sarcasm and like actual like raw comedy.
Yeah,
that-
raw is
yeah.
the capital letters RAW.
Yeah, sometimes if it's over the top, you don't really look at it because it's just like, yo, it's over the top. Like
Yeah.
they're being like excessive. So it's just like, okay, this is funny. You feel
Yeah.
me?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, bro. So literally we were just talking about leaving girls on red. Yeah.
Yes,
Leaving
sir.
girls on red. Recently you've been doing that.
Yeah.
But out of what though? Like why are you doing it?
Like, bro, like how I said earlier, it's like I'm 23. I know what I want. Like
Yeah.
I'm not really here to do
What
that.
do
whole,
you
like,
want, bro?
You just don't feel like you're obligated to respond, right?
I might answer that. Yeah, I don't feel obligated, bro. Like the same way they don't feel obligated, it's the same. It's fair. I don't feel obligated. Like
Mm.
you're beautiful, you got it. I'll give you all the credit in the world.
Mm.
But that does not mean I gotta reply to you. Like you definitely don't.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you don't want shit to anybody.
Yeah, facts. And like
Yeah.
the fact that I see like 20 other guys behind you, if I become one of them now, I'm now one of 21. So it's like
I'm one of one, bro.
Yeah, right. Like I'm not about to
Own that
compete,
shit.
right?
Facts, like
King
literally.
shit, like, king shit for real. But nah, I leave him on red because like I know what I want, and it's like, bro, if I'm 23, I'm not on that type of time anymore. I used to be on it. Now I ain't gonna lie. I used to be like on some like I went from simpin to like pimpin. So it's like for real.
Hey, yo,
Simpin.
I never heard that before.
Yeah. So it's like I remember I was like on
Never,
my
ever.
my player. It's never ever.
I never ever seen you act like
this before. Yo, facts.
Yo, nobody ever gets that shit whenever I say only him. And now you know.
A man of culture.
Yes.
So it's like
Oh, Ethan too, my bad.
proud of you, yo.
Yeah.
It's like when you're 23, I had my days where I was, doing my stupid nonsense. And it's like you get to an age where you think, I don't know, I no longer want to pursue you just so I could like get you in bed. I'm trying to like talk to you. I try to know your traumas. I want to know like the things that you hate.
What
things
makes you
that
tick?
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally tick like a damn clock. I want to know it all.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna do all that just to get it in bed with you. And then because on top of that, if I do all that just to get in bed with you and you're trash, then it's just like, all right, I just threw it all away. Like it's dumb.
Yeah.
So I want like I'm like real. Again, it's not picky, but it's like I'm confident and I know what I like.
Yeah.
And it's like a girl that my mom be like, yo, bring home someone that believes in God and all blah blah.
Mhm.
And I'm like, okay, you don't gotta do all
This is
that.
my girlfriend, not your girlfriend.
Yeah, exactly. This is mine, not yours. So like you back up. But just a girl that like again, she's confident too. She knows what she wants. Like
Yeah.
she's not easily swayed by guys that pull up with the nicest Beamer.
Mhm.
Or like he's rocking the cleanest J's.
Yeah.
And I'm just like not rocking that.
She's not materialistic. and
Yeah,
shit.
not materialistic at all.
Grounded, like down to earth type of
Very
girl.
grounded, very down to earth. And like again, how you said it, like you want it to be natural, you want it to be genuine. You want it to be like a conversation that you could have. We could pull up to McDonald's and get medium fries and go
You like
from
McDonald's?
Call it a night.
And some depends. It depends. Wendy's fries is like where I'm at with it, but
I feel you. I feel
I
you.
feel you, I feel you.
but yeah. So it's like I'm cool, bro. I'm a simpleton. I'm so simple. Like
Yeah.
give me a strawberry lemonade. Pull up to any
Simpleton.
parking lot, and just we could talk for hours.
Yeah.
I'm with that.
Genuine conversation, bro. Like
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah. Yo, we were at the mall yesterday, and we were in Uniqlo, and I went to go check out and everything, and then I'm checking out and shit. Nothing. This didn't lead to anything. Just disclaimer. But like,
Yeah.
It's a funny
yeah, it's just a funny
experience.
coincidence because we're just like organic,
Right.
for example. So I was checking out, and then she's like, "Oh, do you want to buy a bag for 11 cents so you can put your clothes in? Do you have a bag?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, word, yeah, sure." And she's like, "Oh, if you bring back the bag, it'll be 15 cents."
See, I never knew that
What?
about the bringing back the bag.
That was the first time I heard that shit.
Yeah,
Wait,
Yeah.
if you bring the bag
If you
back,
bring the bag back that they gave you, you get 15 cents.
what the? Okay.
Yeah. So she was like, "You get 15 cents." She's like, "No, that's profit. We need that profit." So she made a little joke type shit,
Mhm.
right? And then I started laughing or whatever. So I was like, "Okay, whatever." I genuinely laughing, not just like
Yeah,
fucking-
not to egg it on, but
yeah,
like,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
just
So
laughing.
I asked her. I saw that she had a tattoo like on her forearm, and I was like, "Oh, like where do you get your tats?" And then she was like, "Oh, my friend actually does it. It's like hand poked or whatever." She's like, "Oh, I could try to get hand poked in Montclair."
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah. And she's like, "Oh, I could put you on." And I was like, "Okay, like what's her Instagram?" And she's like, "Oh, it's like Moth Menace, blah blah blah." And I'm typing it in, and I'm like trying different types of ways, and it's not fucking working. It's not pulling up. And I'm like, "Yo, you don't even know your friend." And she laughed.
You don't even know your friend.
Yeah, I was like, you don't even know your friend. You're trying to put her on. And she laughed. And she's like, matter of fact, like follow me and I'll message you later. So like put on her, like send that. And she did. But like it was just, I honestly just thought, like from the conversation, the way the conversation went, it was literally like 4 or 5
Just that.
messages. She just wanted to put her friend on.
Mhm.
And I have no problem with that. But it was just like that conversation, like if it led to something, right? Great.
Yeah.
But like just an example, like organically like that.
Yeah.
Not just like, I guess me pulling up to like the club or the bar, just like
Yeah, shawty
I
slide your IG.
see like a bad girl and
Yeah.
it's
On a
like, yo,
mission.
like what's good? Like I'm on a mission type shit. Like
Oh, yeah,
like
son.
pay 20 at the door, leave with a girlfriend. type
Yeah,
shit.
yo,
yeah.
yes, son. Yeah, I went into a club one time and like, bro, I'm not that guy. So like, I walked into a club. I'm so confident, but I'm not doing what these guys doing. Like,
Yeah.
I was chilling with like the drink in my hand.
Smack
Look
them.
over to my right, and you see a guy just like drilling someone from behind
Yo,
to like some club music. I'm like, dog,
one
what?
time I was
Drilling someone.
Really?
Behind.
Like crazy, just like grinding, but like breaking her. You would think she had gonna be in a wheelchair after. I was like, all right, yo,
yo,
you're
one time
crazy.
I was at the bar and this guy, I was sitting at the actual bar just trying to order my drinks and shit, or I was waiting for my drinks. and there was this girl sitting next to me and this guy next to her trying to spit game.
Yeah.
All her friends came over, right? I guess I don't know if to like egg her on or to like pull her out of the situation. Good looking dude, good looking female, we're two, blah blah blah, right? All the friends came over, like a good 6, 7 of them.
God damn. Okay.
And it was simultaneous. Yeah, it was simultaneous as he was proposing to buy her a drink.
Mm-hmm.
My man bought all
Don't
those
say that.
7
Don't say
girls
that.
a fucking drink. And I was just there waiting for my 2 Jack and Cokes. And I was like, hey, yo, because that's crazy.
dedication.
That's crazy.
You're dedicated to like, you gotta impress her so much. You
Easy.
just spent
Yeah,
$70.
Yeah, but so that's
$60, $70.
yeah, like a good $60, $70. And like whatever, your pockets,
For
you got
what?
pockets, you got pockets.
For what?
Yeah, if you got pockets, you got pockets. Ain't no problem. But it's just like, for me, that's not organic.
That's not the way-
or that's not how I envision meeting like
That's
my
definitely
girlfriend. That's
not.
how I envision like, I guess like meeting a girl I'm trying to like
For
get
the night,
with.
yeah.
For the night, like one night stand type shit.
Yeah.
But it's just like, again, I'm not the type of dude.
To pull up and be like, yo, turn around right now.
Yeah.
This is my song. Like,
Hey, yo.
like, yo, you gotta be on some type of time for that.
Yo, it's like that Hit It to the Beat song. Remember that shit growing up? Jersey Club?
Which one is it?
Hit It to the Beat, Jersey Club?
Hit to the beat.
He's
You
like,
remember
hit
that?
it to the beat. Hit it to the
Yeah, he's over and over again. He's like, turn that ass around and just hit it to the beat. And it's crazy, bro. Yeah, like I said, natural, organic. Like that's
Yeah.
how I've envisioned, like, I guess, my next relationship. And I want my
Yeah.
next relationship to be my last
You
relationship.
want it to be it. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
the thing is though, like, I feel like if you don't date to marry, what are you dating for?
Yeah, I mean, like back then,
Mhm.
maybe when I was like 16, 17.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not, or like 18.
Yeah,
or
you're
even
not
18.
thinking
I'm
about
not
that.
thinking about that shit at all. Even maybe when I'm 21.
Yeah.
But like right now, I just feel like, you know, like if we're like divulging into our careers,
Mm-hmm.
right, which is like, I guess 60% of our lives,
Mhm.
and that kind of like dictates how you're going to spend the rest of your 5-10 years of the rest of your life. That's long term.
Yeah.
So inevitably, me doing all this shit, like pursuing my dreams and aspirations and shit, is inevitably putting the thought of like long term in my head. So everything else now that I decide upon becomes long term. Is it going to be beneficial in the future? Is it going to be like still worth it in the future
Yeah.
type shit? So again, I approach relationships just like that. And it's just like, I personally,
With intention, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's all about intention. It's definitely all about intention. And
Good intention.
Pure intentions. Yeah.
yeah.
You don't want to pull up like, just negative.
It's like mad
stuff.
and like the ambiguity or like the vagueness is just like, look, I'm not with that shit anymore.
Yeah.
It's just
Anymore. Perfect word.
Yeah, I'm not with that
Anymore.
shit anymore. Like, okay, yeah, it's all shits and giggles back then because like I got like shit to fall back on. You
Mhm.
know, like
You had a plan B and a
yeah,
plan
yeah,
C.
exactly. Plan B, plan C, whatever. You know, like I got years ahead of me, and I still do.
Yes, sir.
Don't get it fucked up. I still do.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's just like you said,
We're all in.
I know what I fucking want.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Word.
exactly.
At the end of the day, like I know what I want, bro. Like it's crazy.
Facts.
But like, are you talking to anyone currently?
Nah.
No.
No. You know what? I'm lying. I'm not gonna say I'm talking to her, but I'm pursuing her. It's
Pursuing
like, yeah,
How's
because
that
she
going?
like right now.
Where's your
No,
friend?
right
What-
now?
Where's she
She's
from?
from Belleville.
What's her name?
Name drop?
from
Nah.
Belleville.
No,
I'm from
name drop.
Belleville.
Oh God, I don't like to hear that. I hate that sentence so much. I'm from Belleville. Like, what even is that? Nah.
Hey, yo.
She's from Belleville, but she's graduated like a little bit before me. So
Okay.
like, I never saw her while I was there.
Yeah.
So, but I mean,
How's
yeah.
how's it going though? You don't, like I said, you don't got a name drop or
It,
anything.
nah, I mean, it just started. Like I was at some place in Bloomfield the other day
Mhm.
and social distancing, but I was failing that day. And like it was like not a club, but kind of like a bar.
Yeah.
And I just went up to her and I was like, I was feeling it, I'm not gonna lie. I was like 3 LITs in. And I was
Hey, my
like,
boy
yo, like you
tweaking.
I wasn't saying that crazy, but I was just like, yo, like, let me take you out to like some place in Jersey City. It's just the waterfront. We could get some ice cream, cool out on this
That's
bench.
a good go-to.
Yeah. We could just, just pull up and
Yeah,
we
we
can talk
got
about
Genuine
life.
guy.
Yeah. I was like, we can talk about life. And she was like, all right, take my number down. And first she said, take my IG down. And I didn't have IG like a couple days ago. I deactivated it.
Yeah.
But I was like, at the time, I was like, nah, I don't got that. And she was like, that's even better. And I was in my head like, yes, it is. So, yes, it is. So she was like, take my number. I was like, all right. And ever since, right now, it's smoothly. But I'll get back to you in like a month or so.
Have you done that Jersey City trip?
No, it's happening Tuesday.
Oh, it's happening Tuesday.
This Tuesday,
Yo.
yeah.
Best of luck, bro.
Yeah.
Salute
Thank
to all
you.
my soldiers on the front
Appreciate
lines.
you.
Yo.
Appreciate you.
Be yourself.
Facts,
Hey, yo,
for
facts, bro. You know, I
Facts.
believe
If I'm
you, bro.
anybody else, throw me away.
Yeah, bro. Like
Throw me
fucking,
away.
if you come again as a guest on this
Facts.
podcast, we're gonna talk about her.
I'll update you. I'll be like, yo, that should
we-
not work out.
we-
Or if it worked, I'll be like, yo, that was valid. That's my wife right now.
Yeah. But you said overall it just started. So like,
Yeah, it just
So,
started.
okay.
There's no hopes for this right now. We're just smooth riding out,
Okay,
see where it
okay.
goes.
so let's talk about like, I guess what's new in your life. Like, what are you up to nowadays?
Bro, right now, I'm
Let's
gonna
talk about
say
some goals. Yeah.
Yeah.
goals. Bro, I'm not gonna lie. This is actually the most like interesting thing when I talk to people. I wanted to become a cop.
Oh,
Like,
really?
Yeah, I took the test and everything like in December.
Yeah.
I just passed and I got a pretty good grade. And like people are trying to call me back and I'm kind of with it. But at the same time, it's like there are a lot of factors that are stopping me from wanting to continue that. So I was talking to my mom about it and I was just like, I might look into being a therapist or a school psychologist because I'm
Okay.
like really good at giving advice, I think.
Oh.
So I might just make that my life thing.
Yeah, but
because
if you have a knack for it, I mean,
yeah.
definitely test the waters, bro.
Did you go to school after high school or no?
Yeah, I went to Essex County College for the first 2 years,
Right.
and then I transferred over to like NJCU,
Okay.
and
You
it
have a
should be
bachelor's?
my last.
Oh, okay.
Should be
Working
my
on
last
it.
semester this coming semester.
What are you
That's
majoring in?
Criminal justice.
Criminal justice.
Oh, that's
Okay,
what's
so
up,
you
that's
can.
what's up.
I
take
put
that
all my
path.
cards
Yeah.
out for the cop thing, yeah. But right now, I don't know. Let's see what's going on with that.
Yeah, I mean, talk about these factors that are
Yeah,
stopping
yeah.
you from being a cop. I mean, right now, especially this year, being a cop is kind of like,
It's a dangerous game.
it's a very dangerous game, bro. It's
Very
just like
polarizing job.
it's
Yeah, seriously.
it's devil's advocate. You kind of like, I guess, lose with the situation.
yeah,
But at the same time, like if it's what you want to pursue, then
yeah.
shit, it's
Thing
what you
is,
wanna
like,
pursue.
I know me. I know my personality pretty well. Like, I know I'd be the type of cop that like I got all the kids on the block know my name. Like, they'll be like, "Oh, it's Officer Delarosa," but like the little kids, and like
Yeah.
the parents will be like, "Oh, Officer Delarosa." I know I have the personality and the people skills, the communication skills to like hold down whatever blocks I work for.
Mhm.
Like, I know I'll be the cool cop.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm not really worried about it.
Okay.
But at the same time, I'm worried about it because it's like, you got you. What if you pull up to a scene and people just don't like you, and they're just like, "Yo, this is a op," and they spit all over you. Blah blah blah.
Yo, I saw one video on Twitter where they all had water guns, and they straight up embarrassed my dude.
Yeah, yeah.
They straight up
They were
embarrassed.
just
him.
shooting him with the water guns.
Didn't it come with a
no.
bucket too?
Yeah, they came with a bucket,
Yeah.
bro. And my man was soaked, like trying to get back to his car. He pulled up probably, I think, to like stop a party or
Mhm.
whatever. Everybody just so happy. It was a summer party. Everybody just so happy.
Oh, I think I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
Man, just walking.
It looked
It's
like he
mad
walked walked into Niagara Falls.
That's
and
the
just
walk
came
of
back
shame,
out.
walking back to your car wet as hell. You're not even sweaty, bro.
And he didn't even shut
Shit
down the
you.
party. It was just like, all right, like
It was a failed attempt to shut
Yeah,
down the
yeah,
party.
like, let me get the fuck out of here. type
That's
shit.
crazy.
Embarrassing.
Yeah.
Embarrassing.
But like just incidents like that, it's just like crazy. Yeah.
And stuff like that makes you think like late at night when you're in your bed and you're tossing and turning, you're like, do I really want that for myself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could really just sit down in a room and hear someone's problems, which I'm so much better at doing.
Yeah.
So
Okay. I mean, has that helped you? You said you're good at giving great advice. From my experience, a lot of people I know that are good at giving great advice are kind of bad at taking their own advice.
definitely.
You get me?
Yeah, but
So,
2020, I started taking my own advice.
Okay,
That's
I
why I
was
say
gonna- yeah, yeah.
2020 is king season, yo.
For real? I was
Yeah.
gonna say you struggle with that? Like
Used to,
in the
for
past?
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, what type of advice have you taken from yourself that you've implemented into this year?
In terms of girls, like, bro, if she lacks the effort, you don't continue because she's lacking effort. So why would I keep trying that?
I mean, girls and just friendships in general.
For every relationship that comes into your
Facts,
life,
bro.
like for sure.
It definitely always has to be mutual to
Yeah.
a certain extent. I think relationships and friendships are not like 50-50. I've seen that before. It's definitely not 50-50. I think it's on a day-to-day basis. Sometimes people give 100, the other person gives 0. Sometimes people give 75, the person gives 25.
Yeah.
I just think it's like a give and take balance game.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of your friendship is not quote unquote in equilibrium.
Yeah.
You guys just trying to like,
Good
I
word.
guess.
Yeah.
they're
good
just
word.
trying to like figure out type shit. But eventually things with friendships and with, I guess, relationships as time goes forward, becomes more natural.
Yeah.
So like that whole 60-40 thing, you're not really worried about that. Just like, all right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I am who I am. You are who you are.
yeah. And we,
You learn how to function with them.
Yeah.
exactly, and we
As a-
connect mentally or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just like literally over the head, subconscious. So just
Mhm.
like part of your day-to-day task now.
Yeah.
Like,
You
that's
notice,
what it
how
is.
much that comes back into play though, the subconscious thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And like I said, because last recording we were talking about this, I want to bring it up again.
Right.
Shit like that, it's just like on a scale. Like if you just put everything linear to like when you get up in the morning and like you mentioned before, picking a fit or like brushing your teeth, showering. There's thousands of thoughts that go into your mind whenever that happens. Like, what am I gonna eat for breakfast? Or like, what am I gonna do today? Who am I gonna see today? Who hit me up? Blah blah blah. Look at my notifications, all that shit, whatever. Whole bunch of shit.
Yeah.
But like that in comparison to like a huge like catastrophe in your life, like imagine like the millions of thoughts like that go into that. It's just like crazy to think about, and it's all part of the subconscious because in turn, all these thoughts kind of attribute to how you portray yourself.
Yeah.
You get me? So like when I hear when you hear Marley D, what do you want to portray yourself as? You get me?
Yeah.
Like for me, like I just want to be a genuine dude. Like that's how I've lived probably like my entire life, as positive as possible, but acknowledging like my setbacks and failures and like my shortcomings, but like overall just as genuine and possible, just as genuine as possible. Just because like again, I don't know what the fuck is going on in your life, like behind closed doors. I don't know what the fuck goes on in his life. So it's just like, yo, like if I just, I guess, serve the path of like being a right person, being as just as possible.
Somehow I can maneuver through all.
Yeah. Somehow I can maneuver through all that, and also like I guess savor my, not savor, that's a weird word. Appreciate my friendships with people.
Yeah,
you get me? Yeah. And just like have me be more empathetic and sympathetic, because it's like I'm able to like, I guess, fit in their shoes as much as possible. But like again, like how do you want yourself portrayed?
I'm probably gonna say like, if I was to die right tomorrow, and I was gonna ask y'all real quick, what do you think happens after death? But I don't know how much time we got. But I would just answer your question real quick.
Yeah.
If I was to die tomorrow and like people were like, Marley, post on IG, blah blah blah, cool kid, whatever, I'd probably want to be remembered for like, I want to be known for being confident. I want to be known for like, the guy that had his fair share of mistakes, took the time to think about the mistakes, what he did wrong, what the other person did wrong, and chose to like right the wrongs. And you want to be genuine. I want to be genuine. I want to be like transparent as hell. I have a tattoo on my chest that kind of says like something about transparency.
Oh wow,
and, like being transparent.
Yeah.
And just a good communicator. You never want to hide stuff. You want to be no snake. You want to be like 100% out of 100% all the time.
Yeah.
No matter what that means. If it means you got to take the L to be 100%, all right, take the L.
Oh, so would you say you're a sacrificial person?
If it means to be 100, yeah.
Okay.
Just because
I can definitely relate to that. Have you ever like, I guess, sacrificed your comfortability for the sake of others?
Too many times.
Yeah, no, I struggle with that like a lot.
Like, where do you draw the line on that?
Yeah, exactly. Like it's hard for me to draw that line. Like even now, like I feel like that's one big thing that I struggle with. Just like, yo, like enough is enough. You feel me? Like sometimes you gotta be like, yo. For me, I was like, yo, stop being a like, little bitch. And just, like, fucking like speak up. Because like I'm very, I guess, persuaded, but like not to the extent like I'm gullible and ignorant, but like to a point where it's just like, yo, like, okay, we'll go with that.
Thing is,
okay, we'll go with this.
Yeah, thing is like
easygoing.
I'll do it
instead of like this is my demand.
Yeah, right. This is what I want.
Yeah.
Like I'll do it, and then like a part of my brain sees me do it, and it's like my brain will just not. My brain will be like, yo, you're doing it. You're letting these people sway you. You're letting these people like, you're putting yourself second and you're putting them first. Why don't you put yourself first? And like the me here is like, nah, I'm gonna keep putting them first because I'm sure one day, the roles will switch. If they don't switch, they do not switch. So like,
I feel you, bro. I mean, but like right now we're transitioning toward, I guess, the last segment of the podcast.
Right.
And usually what I ask for my guests is basically a mantra or like a piece of advice you give, one, to your former self, and two, to other people around you that are in this floating area where like they don't really know what they want just out of life or just in general, just like aimlessly like living. You get me? Like what would you say to them, and what would you say to your prior self that like you've continued to live by to this day?
To my prior self, I would say definitely stop listening to what anybody else says, or at least if you do listen to what they say, that's 40%, and then the other 60% is what you want to do, what you want to believe, what you want to say. You rock with that one. And then the to the people that are just floating around, anyone, you could die tomorrow. If you're afraid of taking risks, take the risk. appreciate basically everything that you got going on. Because trust, there are people in other places that don't got what you got.
Mhm.
And if you're gonna be afraid of life, then you're gonna go nowhere. You gotta like look the demon right in its eyes and be like, "Yo, you're not beating me today."
Yeah.
Mhm.
You get me?
I fuck with that.
Fuck with that, yeah.
Yeah, bro. Yo, I appreciate you coming on.
Yo, appreciate you for having me.
Yo, I got you.
It's
I
an
got
honor.
you. Yeah,
For real, honor.
I appreciate that, bro.
Before we leave, is there anything that you want to plug? Like, where can people find you? If anything, I know you deactivated IG.
I just reactivated. I'd be on and off with it.
All right, so drop your
Plug it,
IG, bro.
I mean, I don't even really want them following me low key.
Yeah, oh, you don't.
Nah,
Oh, you don't have
Marley
to.
D,
You don't have to.
Marley.dgx. I'll leave it like
Marley
that.
dot D.
All right,
We'll put it in the bio. I'll put it in.
Yeah.
But yo, but I
Appreciate you, dog.
yo.
For real, son.
Yo,
Thank you
Lux,
so
yo,
much
Lux, yo,
My
Lux.
for
God.
having me.
Thank you
guys
so
are
much.
You guys are
All right,
fire.